Cross-border logistics is the transportation of the flow of cargo between two countries that share a border. In this case, this is a crucial part for Mexico and the US, versus international logistics can be something more overseas, where you have to probably use different routes of transportation other than just ground and crossing the border.
It's fairly obvious for a lot of people, even not in supply chain today, that there is a tremendous amount of effort associated to de-risk, getting closer to the markets you serve. So the Western Hemisphere, for example, Mexico sits in an ideal state to support the entire Western Hemisphere. You look at all the delays that happened during the supply chain, what used to take a month started to take months to get product from Asia into one of the largest markets in the world, the United States. Now you can get there in days or a week when you're producing product out of Mexico. At the same time, people are looking to just spread production, right? Again, another reason to eliminate risk is to have multiple production facilities. So we're seeing customers go from one single source or two to multiple locations, and Mexico just fits that perfect profile.
A freight forwarder's main role and responsibility in cross-border logistics should be to educate the customer and also provide them with solutions that involve security, capacity, visibility, and just the expertise. That way their imports and exports can flow smoothly. Most important thing will be to understand your customer supply chain, from the origin requirements to the border process, and then to all the requirements at delivery. And then from there, really understand and establish a relationship with their suppliers and with their customers, and understand all the impacts from the operational side, financial side, and even commercial aspect.
So if you look at the Mexico market today, the average trucks, you've got 10 going out of Mexico, 3 coming in. So capacity constraints can be a major factor when moving production into Mexico when there's already tight conditions from a capacity perspective there. And then obviously, every time anyone moves to a different country, you're gonna have different regulations, you're gonna have different risks. You know, Mexico, you hear, of course, a lot about security. So capacity, security, government regulations, understanding the local culture, all come into play when you're dealing with a new market such as Mexico. If you're not a supply chain person and you've ever seen some of the stuff that goes on the border crossings get highly congested. When you're manufacturing or you're pushing product out of Mexico and dropping it into the United States, just take El Paso, for example. Many cases, you've got to turn that product very quickly to get it to market. And so a lot of our customers have had trucks stuck on the bridge for hours, even a day in some cases. And so little things we've done is satellite tracking down to the bridge level. It doesn't solve the problem of the bridge delay. What it does solve the problem is it allows you to plan on the other end of the border on how you're gonna source capacity, how you're gonna make those adjustments. It could go from truck to air because of that simple 8-hour delay.
Language barriers can affect our operations in logistics. As you know, it's 2 different countries. They have 2 different cultures and speak 2 different languages. We have overcome that challenge because we have hired a team of fully bilingual people that really know all the ins and outs of both sides of the business in Mexico and the US. This has been a really nice journey because Pegasus started operating in Mexico, but we didn't have an actual presence or an office or someone physically there in Mexico. We wanted to hire the right person, and took us a long time to really find that one person that was gonna be able to bring all that expertise and from a cultural standpoint of a fit, and then from an expertise standpoint. And we were able to find that person 2.5 years ago, and now we're expanding that team with a group of people that are fully bilingual. They've been in the industry for a long time, and we're going to continue to hire people. That's a good thing. We're going to continue to grow Mexico. But we are also focusing on what type of people we bring into the team.
We thrive with the challenges, right? We love it. And I think what we don't want to misconceive is Pegasus has been in Mexico for 20 years. There's a high likelihood that server racks coming across the border are touched by Pegasus. Automotive parts, we've got warehousing that support plants specific to Mexico. That's all been going on for years and years. What makes us amazing is everybody can say, I've been there 20 years, but not everybody can say that we are able to pivot and adapt with client needs and changes in the marketplace. And one of the best examples and one of my proudest moments is we had a client that was really impacted during the pandemic, impacted to the fact that their plant was shut down, their distribution facility. Well, they called us in dire straits for some space in Mexico to basically redeploy a distribution in a matter of days, not months, not years. Pegasus was up and running from an IT perspective, full operational warehouse within 30 days, and our client didn't miss a beat on their end of quarter distribution, which is huge. Most client or forwarders would have to say, well, let me see if I can find the space. It takes this long to integrate. I don't know if we can do it. We jumped to the occasion and said, this is an opportunity. And it's an opportunity, again, build stickiness with our amazing customers and bring value to the customers. Because what we realize each and every day is it's important to provide on-time service. It's important to bill our clients correctly. It's important not to damage their product, but those are table stakes in the marketplace. What's important in the marketplace is how can we establish value every single day? And if we're not doing that, then you might as well just go to the next guy. And so that's what we value and what makes us different.